Good morning and win today. My name is Millicent Lindiwe Ndaba. As you might have known or heard in various social media platforms, I have just published a book. I'm very excited about it. My book's name is The Reciprocal Relationship of Culture and Leadership. The book is based on a case study that is our rainbow nation, South Africa. Because South Africa is such a diverse country with various cultures, we have many languages, different races, different preferences of food, different religions within the country, and even within the races, there's different tribes and even sub-tribes within those tribes. So it was really appropriate to use this rainbow nation as a case study to demonstrate the principles of how culture and leadership interact with one another. However, the principles in the book, they are not only applicable to South Africa alone. They're applicable to any country, any continent, and global. It can be used in families. Those principles can be relevant for organizations. They can be used in different regions, in different countries, and globally. To understand the relationship of culture and leadership and how they interact, I dissected culture and leadership firstly individually, to delve deep into it, to make sure that there is a thorough understanding, not only for me as an author, but also for the reader, using different dimensions of culture. So there are various authors, academic authors, who have explored for years and decades different dimensions of culture. So I use those theories to research and study the concept of culture and the various aspects of culture. The same applies to leadership. I also used different leadership styles that have been researched by various authors around the globe for years and decades to understand what leadership styles are there and how they interact with culture and how they lead either to the success or failure within leadership, to the effectiveness or ineffectiveness of leadership. Some of those leadership styles, if I just make some example, are transformational leadership, innovation, innovative leadership, servant leadership, agile leadership. And it was so important to also look at situational leadership as well as toxic leadership, because it is a reality that these styles manifest themselves in different ways in various leadership journeys of individuals, organizations, communities, countries, continents, regions as well as globally. So I believe as we will embark on this journey together, by you getting yourself a copy of this book and reading it, reflecting on your own leadership style, and also on what are the aspects of things in your own background, in your own culture that influences your leadership, and what are the things that makes you effective in your role, and what are the things that makes you ineffective, and what are the things that leads to unintended pitfalls, so that you address those and then leading to you becoming the best leader that you possibly can be. And the question may be, somebody might ask that, but I don't have a leadership position, so this book is not relevant to me. I want to rest you assured to say to you that, yes, this book is applicable to you and you will get value in it, because leadership is not about the position that you hold. Leadership is deeper than that. When you lead yourself into greatness, into what you want to become, or sometimes lead yourself to failure, you are still a leader. You are still a leader of self. When you have a family, you are a leader of 2, 3, 4. Sometimes other people look to you for guidance. You lead them knowingly and unknowingly. You can be a leader of 10, a leader of 20, a leader of thousands, a leader of millions, and this book would be valuable to you. The intention really is to ensure that leaders grow and enhances their leadership styles, and that we understand this interaction between culture and leadership, and also addressing some of the issues that might lead to misunderstanding, because we unconsciously have bias on other cultures based on our own upbringing. This book also addresses on that. So it can improve social cohesion. It can improve how families actually relate with one another, how colleagues relate with one another, how community members relate with one another, how the country interacts with one another, and how we interact with one another globally, how countries view each other. And I believe when we do it with fervency and honestly, reflecting truthfully, we can address even some of the social ills that we find in the society, and ultimately achieve peace in families, peace within our communities, and peace globally. And if we take South Africa as an example, there is a lot that we have achieved since the dawn of democracy. However, there is still a lot that we need to do individually and collectively, because as much as we can count the great things that our wonderful nation has achieved, this rainbow nation, there is a lot of reality where the high inequality that is still existing in our country, the high crime rates that are still existing, the high unemployment rates that are still existing. Talk about GBV, people experiencing violence based on their orientation. So This can help us to see how we can address these things, starting by understanding how our own backgrounds influence how we show up in our various organizations, families, countries, and even globally. So in conclusion, I say, get your own copy and let us start the conversation. Thank you very much.